Hello and welcome back to another episode. Once again, if you are watching this on YouTube, there are not going to be any pictures within the video, audio only, as that was how I was going to start this podcast off in the beginning. I got a little carried away because I liked how the videos turned out with the pictures within them, and I might still do that in the future, but within the next few episodes, and maybe probably just for the near future, it's just going to be audio only. Sometimes during the week, I only have time to record my audio and my thoughts, and I do not have time to sit down and edit and put pictures within a video. Last weekend, after I recorded episode 9, I watched the last 2 episodes of season 4 of Stranger Things, the season finale, and it was amazing. So that is what I'm going to be talking about today, along with other reviews for other shows. So, as you all know, the final 2 episodes of season 4 were aired, and they were mind-blowing. They were so good. They were a great wrap-up to a season, and they were quite long. I think between both episodes, it was about 4 hours to 4.5 hours long. Now, even though it was a great 2 episodes, some felt that it was dragging on, and they were putting a lot of fillers in there, and some also said that it was cramming too much into 2 episodes. I thought it was the first, and I thought that it was a little slow for some parts, and they were trying to put some filler scenes in there. But after I watched or skimmed through the 2 episodes again, I think I'm right in the middle there, where there are some scenes where they are just like filling conversations in. You got a random conversation between these 2 characters here, and there are 2 there. And then there are also some scenes where they were just really cramming things in some parts, where they're trying to fill in as much as they can within these 2 last episodes. Regardless of either of those, it didn't bother me any, and I enjoyed these last 2 episodes. This is where we are seeing some really good character development and some character arc with some of these characters. But on the other hand, there are some characters that are just kind of going down for me. I'm not enjoying some characters as much as I have in the past, and some I just never liked to begin with, so now it's just really making it worse. But as usual, if you do not want to hear any spoilers, I'm going to be talking about a lot of spoilers, so plug your ears and come back when you've seen these 2 episodes. So once again, I'm not going to be doing a full synopsis. I'm going to be going to certain bits and pieces that I enjoyed between these 2 episodes and certain things that just kind of bothered me, but as a whole, nothing really bothered me that much to the point where I disliked these episodes. I think the people who are creating Stranger Things have something great going here, and it seems like they're able to just make each season get better and better and have something great coming towards the end. This show definitely ended with a possible season 5 coming in the future. At the end of this show, the Upside Down is now trickling into the overworld, and they are now intersecting, and the Upside Down is now coming and trying to take over the real world. So that is what has to happen in season 5, and I cannot wait for it. But now back to what I was talking about with the characters. For the most part, I like all of the characters. Obviously, Steve and Dustin are my favorite, and now Eddie has become one of my favorite characters, and of course, Eleven is one of the coolest characters. Within these 2 episodes, she finally got her full potential powers back, and then some, and she unleashes those powers in the Upside Down, in the overworld, and she is just insane. What a great character. The only thing that kind of bugs me is I wish they would have given her better lines. There are some scenes where she's about to say some like really cool comeback line to Vecna, and you're thinking, oh, this is going to be a great line, and it's something as really cheesy. It wasn't fulfilling. Like, oh wow, that was a good line. It was very anticlimactic. But like I said, I liked most of the characters, but there are some characters that were okay in the beginning of this show that I didn't mind, but now just kind of bleh to me. I wasn't a huge Jonathan fan, but now he's down the list for me at the bottom. And Will was just okay, and now he's just kind of a worthless character. I mean, his purpose really isn't huge. The only thing he can do actually is pretty unique, is because when in season 2 he was connected to the Mind Flayer, he can now sense when anything of the Upside Down or the Mind Flayer is near. So that's actually kind of cool. But other than that, Will is not my favorite. Mike is probably my least favorite in the entire show, and it is pretty cheesy what they kind of made his character purpose to be. Will was trying to encourage him and saying that he is the heart of the party, which I guess for a lot of people that's really cool, but it's like that's what he contributes. The first 2 seasons of this show, he was supposed to be like the protector of Elle, it was cool. But then the 3rd and 4th season, he was just kind of pointless. We have Steve and Dustin doing all of the heavy lifting to find the clues and finding the Russians and stuff. And Mike was just kind of there, trying to deal with adolescent life. Another character that I've never been overly thrilled with was Lucas. He's in the same realm with Mike and Will, and Dustin is the only one out of the four friends that I really enjoy. He's really intelligent, he's smart, he's not an idiot, and he's hilarious. So but Lucas is just okay. But I have to say, the person who plays Lucas really pulled some good acting out of their back pocket. And when Max was potentially dead, he's crying and like wailing for Max, and it's like, wow, this is some pretty good acting. Once again, if you do not want to hear spoilers, stop now because I'm about to drop a big spoiler. A lot happened in these past 2 episodes, but there was one thing that really punched me in the gut, and I kind of predicted it when they first introduced this character into this last season, and that is when Eddie died. Eddie does die in this last episode, and it is just like, why? They introduced such a great character, and they do that a lot within the show. I loved Sean Astin in season 2 as Bob, and now Eddie in season 4. What a heartbreak. Dustin is also great at acting in this scene when he's saying goodbye to Eddie. Now, Eddie has made a point in saying that he's not the hero, that he runs away, and finally, to save Dustin, he stands up and he doesn't run away, and those weird upside-down bats start coming after him and are chasing him and Dustin, so he leads them away on a bike, and then he stops and he starts taking them out, but then of course there's so many of them that they just overtake him and just tear him to bits. Dustin finally shows up and he's, saying goodbye to him and holding him, and it's like, come on, stop introducing these good characters and getting rid of them. Other than that, there are just some totally great scenes within these last 2 episodes. 11 fights Vecna within this like mine inception realm thing, and then she fights him in the upside down, and they are great battles. So much fun to watch. And then of course Vecna ends up getting defeated. Steve, Robin, and Nancy go into the upside down through the portal that was opened up in the first half of the 4th season, and they officially, or should I say Nancy, goes up and just shotguns the crap out of Vecna's real body within the upside down. So it seems like he's not dead, I don't think, but it seems like he kind of disappeared like Voldemort from Harry Potter after he tried to kill Harry Potter. So he's just kind of like out there in the mist. But I'm curious to see what's going to happen in season 5. Obviously, my natural prediction is that the Mind Flayer is going to be trying to attack the overworld. There are now these cracks and rifts that open up, and now the upside down, like I said, is seeping into the overworld, and they're like large tornadoes. All of nature is decaying and turning gray and into ash, and that's where season 4 ended. Now, Max, we know that she was listening to the music, the iconic song that's all over social media now, and she was trying to protect herself from Vecna's powers to try to kill her, and in doing so would cause the rifts in the world that we see at the end of season 4. Now, he did succeed, and he did kill Max, but then she was able to come back. I think 11 within the mind inception thing brought her back to life. But when she died, she had the full body with the arms snapping and legs snapping like the people before her. And now she's in the hospital, and she's like almost in a full body cast now. But she volunteered to do that to distract him, so each section of the group of characters could go in and try to defeat Vecna. So her sacrifice was noble, but now we'll see what happens with her in season 5. I could make this podcast episode at least an hour and a half, going over all small details, things that bothered me, things that I really loved, but I'll keep it short. That is it for my Stranger Things rant. I'm excited for season 5. I hope they don't wait too long. I know a lot of people on Twitter have been saying, season 5, 2024. If they wait till 2024 for this last season, I'm going to lose my mind. And even though there was a month in between these 2 halves of season 4, it was still just unnecessary. It wasn't like they were building up too much suspense. I could have watched these last 2 episodes when I watched the first half of the season and still would have had the same effect. Like I said in the past, I don't know why they do that and split shows in half like that. I don't know if it's for subscription purposes, if it's for viewer purposes, or if they've just had so much content within one season, they thought it best to split 4 hours over here and then, the 6 episodes over here. I'm not sure. But hopefully we do not have to wait till 2024. That is just unnecessary. But if they haven't started filming yet, then that would probably make sense, but we'll see what happens. Aside from Stranger Things, I've watched a couple other shows. I've watched the most recent season of Outlander, which was just okay. The earlier seasons of that show was a lot better. I also watched the first 2 episodes of season 4 of Westworld, and they were pretty good. I really enjoyed that show. The first 3 seasons have been so good, and I'm really excited to see how the rest of this season is going to turn out. And the last new show that I've watched was this new Amazon show called Terminal List. It is with Chris Pratt, and it was absolutely amazing. This is a more dark role for Chris Pratt. He's, coming home from the army. He lost some of his troop, actually his entire platoon within the war, and there's a lot of secrets going on, and it's a huge revenge story. I would definitely check it out if you have not seen it. But I would be careful if you have a weak stomach. There are some pretty gruesome scenes in this show. He is taking revenge, Taken style, and it is really crazy, but such a great show. I mean, Chris Pratt is usually a comedy guy. The only other movie I've seen him in where he wasn't really funny was in the movie Passengers. But other than that, he's in Guardians of the Galaxy, Parks and Recreation, and he's a really funny guy. But this was a really dark story. He was not funny at all. But it was good. He did a really good job in this part, and it was great. But that is it for this episode. Now, the time I'm recording this, I have not seen Thor yet, so when I do see that, I will be doing an episode of my review on that. I do not know when episode 11 will be coming out. I might record things, but there might be a few weeks where there are not going to be some episodes. I'm getting a little busy, and we'll see when another episode will come out. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching this on YouTube, please leave a comment on things that you have been enjoying watching recently. Let me know how you like Stranger Things. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next Finklecast.